Hello, my name is Kim, and in this timeless reading, we are going to find out what it is that you can expect and or look forward to in the next 7 days. Now, because this is a timeless reading, the next 7 days could either be from whenever you happen to be watching this video, or it could be any next 7 days of your choice. And please remember that when it comes to energy, nothing is really set in stone, since energy is always shifting and changing in accordance with our actions, decisions, and even way of thinking. So predictions are meant to offer you insight as to what the current energy is and where it is headed, so that if there is something in the prediction that resonates with you but it's not to your liking, you can then become aware of what it is that needs to change, or you could change, in order to shift the current energy and therefore the development or the outcome of the situation. Because even when it comes to situations that feel or are out of our control, how we choose to respond to them can make a huge difference. It can completely alter how we experience the situation itself. So please do keep that in mind. Okay. But now let us take a look at the options for this reading. So for group 1, we have time. Group 2 is abundance. Group 3 is intuition. And lastly, for group 4, we have the divine as well as home. Please take a moment to ponder upon the options, meditate on them if you like, and then select the option that you are drawn to the most. If it happens to be the case that you are not drawn to any of these options, but you would still love a timeless reading about the next 7 days, then please consider looking through the playlist that I have provided a link to in both the description box and the pinned comment in the comment section down below, which contains a selection of other next 7 days prediction readings. Maybe you'll find a video that resonates more with you at this moment in time. Okay, but if you have selected an option presented to you in this video, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you chose the card time, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on this group's energy, the message or the phrase setting aside came to mind. So sometime in the next 7 days, you could be setting something aside for a later time, or you will find yourself needing to make time in order to address or work on something. Now, we do have a full moon depicted in the illustration, and full moons make me think of completion or culmination. So maybe there is something that you need to get done. Like there is a deadline that you have to meet. There will be something due sometime in the next 7 days. And so if that is the case, you will find yourself prioritizing whatever this is, needing to make time for it in order to complete it, turn it in, or have it done by the deadline or due date or due time. Because I do see that sometime in the next 7 days, you will be dealing with some time-sensitive matter. Now, if there happens to be a full moon sometime in the next 7 days, on the night or day of the full moon, or even throughout these next 7 days, you will be purging and or releasing, because full moons is all about cleansing. So you might find yourself actively cleaning and or cleansing your space. You might find yourself rearranging the furniture or doing some deep cleaning of your space, like getting into the crooks and crannies. You could also feel drawn to or called to do some kind of detox. So if you are familiar with that, if you've done your research when it comes to that, that may be something that you will be doing sometime or throughout the next 7 days. But this may be also indicating you going through some emotional, energy, or even spiritual purge or cleansing sometime or throughout these next 7 days. So if you find yourself feeling a little bit antsy or even tired, fatigued, and you don't know why, like you're getting enough rest, like you're eating well, your health is looking good, yet you're still feeling fatigued or a little restless, it could be because you are going through some kind of emotional, spiritual, or energy cleansing. Or it could even be because you are recuperating from something. So let's say if in the last 7 days you didn't get enough hours of sleep, these next 7 days could be about recovering those hours of sleep, recuperating from pulling all-nighters perhaps, or working for hours non-stop. Because sometimes that happens, the fatigue, we don't experience it in the moment. It catches up to us at some later time. Because the moon is also making me think of accumulating. So the fatigue, the unrest, it can accumulate over time and then hit us unexpectedly in the present. Which is why it's always mentioned that it's important to be mindful of getting enough rest, enough sleep, of taking care of our health and mental well-being. And of course, the moon phases are making me think of cycles, and our bodies, our physical vessels, they go through their own cycles. There's times in which we feel really high on energy and our bodies feel restless for action and movement. And there's other times in which our bodies are calling us and guiding us to slow it down, rest, take it easy so that it can recharge. It's just like nature. Nature has its seasons and each season has its purpose, right? Autumn being for slowing down and winter being for rest. While summer and spring are more about coming forward, taking action, planting seeds and creating. So these next 7 days for some of you, it could be a time of rest, slowing down, taking it easy, or recovering. And you will know if it is because your body will let you know. It will give you signs, like feeling sleepy before even your bedtime, or not feeling as inclined to do very strenuous activities, for example. Okay, but now let us move on to the rest of the cards to get more insight into the next 7 days. What just came through is that some of you could be gifted, or you could be treating yourself to a nice, luxurious, or just high quality wristwatch. It could even be like a pocket watch. Or maybe an hourglass. I'm also seeing something about time management, so some of you could be looking into that. I recently saw a video on YouTube. I will include the title of the video and of her channel. So you can check it out if you want to, or if you feel called to do so. Yet in the video, she utilized a timer. So she assigned herself a reasonable amount of time for each task in order to help her manage her time and help her get motivated to finish certain tasks that were pending and that she had to get done without procrastinating. So some of you could be actually applying that technique and find that it helps you, like using a timer, possibly a stopwatch, or assigning yourself a reasonable amount of time for specific tasks. You could also be thinking about scheduling or organizing your day-to-day activities to help you get a better sense of what needs to get done or what you need to do, or to help you better manage or find what your routine or what routine works best for you. Yeah, because some of you could often feel like you are running low on time, or you might often find yourself being in a hurry trying to get stuff done on time. Yeah, so these next 7 days you could be focusing on time management or finding an approach, a technique that can help you better manage your time, or can help you better understand or get a grasp of how much time it actually takes to do certain things. Okay, but for your card, we have the Joker, which this is kind of an equivalent to the Fool card in traditional tarot. But I often think of this Joker card as my fast pass card, which is interesting because the fast pass allows you to save time, to skip the line. Yeah, so some of you could actually be getting a free pass in the next 7 days. Maybe you are planning on going to an amusement park or somewhere where usually there are long lines. And, you know, this pass will allow you to not have to wait in line, or it will allow you to save some time so that you can enjoy the rest of the rides or enjoy your time doing other things that are not about waiting in a long queue. But the other thing that is coming through is that if there is something that is due sometime in the next 7 days, like there is a deadline, and you find yourself needing more time, if you do ask for an extension, or if you do ask to reschedule, for example, like maybe you can't make it to an appointment that you have sometime in the next 7 days, this extension will be given to you, or you will be able to reschedule for a later time that is more convenient to you, or maybe to all parties if it involves more than one party. Okay, but we also have spiritual guidance. So with time and spiritual guidance, these next 7 days, you could be seeing a lot of angel numbers or repeating numbers, especially on the clock. So for example, every time you feel called to look at the time or turn to look at the clock, you will see an angel number on the clock or a repeated number like 333. Yeah, and this is not a coincidence. This is not happening just because. It is a sign. It is communication coming from your spirit guides or your angels, if you believe in angels, or possibly even your higher self. And it could be that some of you are very into or very knowledgeable about numerology. So you might have a good sense or understanding of what specific numbers or number sequences mean or signify, or you yourself could have already designated specific meanings or associated specific meanings to certain angel numbers. Yeah, so if you have, please take those meanings into consideration these next 7 days when these numbers do pop up for you. Or these next 7 days, you could feel called to look more into numerology or kind of look up what certain angel numbers mean or signify, because you are starting to see them often. Yeah, but I do see with the feather here, you getting a lot of signs and confirmations in the next 7 days. It could be through numbers, but it could also be through like symbols or objects, like seeing feathers on the floor, or maybe seeing a specific kind of bird, for example. Like, I know that a lot of people associate hummingbirds with loved ones who are on the other side. Yeah, so I feel like these next 7 days, you will feel the presence of your spirit guides, or it could be of loved ones who have passed on, whose essence you feel is quite comforting. And what is coming through with guidance is that it seems these symbols and signs, these angel numbers or repeated numbers, will be guiding you these next 7 days. But the feather here makes me think of a quill. So as mentioned, some of you could be working on a project. You might be working on a rough draft or an essay, a presentation, a thesis paper, a report, because it is due either sometime in these next 7 days or very, very soon. And what is coming through is that if you set your mind to it, if you choose to either work on this ahead of time or set time for it, you will be able to get a lot done. You might even be able to complete it before the deadline or due date, which will give you time to either revise. Yeah, because the quill's making me think of revisions or editing. Some of you could actually be sending something out like a rough draft for editing or revision. I don't know, the quill and the hourglass just made me think of a publisher. So you could be working with a publisher or publishing company to revise a rough draft or to publish a work of yours. And it feels like these next 7 days you will be doing or undergoing a lot of revisions. But with the Joker, I'm being reminded of that one SpongeBob episode where he has to write an essay, but he finds himself procrastinating a lot. Yeah, the line delivered by the mailman, or the mailfish more like, in the episode is coming to mind, which goes, "Don't you have an essay to write?" So yeah, some of you might find yourself procrastinating, looking at the time a lot and like wondering where the time went or hoping for the time to pass more quickly. But as mentioned previously, if you set your mind to it, if you dedicate a certain amount of time to working on a task, you will be able to get it done. Yeah, so if you are someone who gets easily distracted, especially by your phone, for example, maybe consider setting your phone aside or placing it somewhere that is far from reach as you work on this task or assignment. Yeah, because the other thing that is coming through with time is that you may be someone who, once they get into something in the zone, for example, you're hooked, you're in it. Like if you start a task and you become involved, like you don't stop until you complete the task. It's sort of like getting the ball rolling, and once it's rolling, it won't stop. So if that resonates with you, I feel like the most important thing for you is just to start, to get the ball rolling, because once you do, like everything after that is easy peasy. Yeah, maybe it will actually help to assign or dedicate time, like schedule it in, put it in your schedule, your agenda, make an appointment with the task that you have to do, so that okay, well at this time I have to, or I will be working on this. And maybe that will help you with starting, with getting that ball rolling. But yeah, the full moon does make me think of completing. So whatever it is that you need to get done, I do see you completing it. Like I said, it could be before the due date if it does have a deadline. But if you do end up asking for an extension, which is totally fine, by the way, yeah, you will be getting it done by then. The point is that you will be completing it. You will be getting it done successfully, is how it's coming through. And actually, I just noticed, I hadn't realized this before. I guess it's because this card really wanted to come out as well. But I was not meant to pull out a clarifier from this deck. I was actually meant to pull out a clarifier from this deck. So let me do that right now. Yeah, so it seems like your guides really want for you to pay attention to the repeated signs or anything that keeps popping up over and over for you. Because it seems to be very important that you pay attention to them, or that you maybe pay attention to what it is that you're thinking or what you're doing or what is going on when you do see these signs, these repeated numbers or angel numbers. Because I feel like your spirit guides or your higher self or your angels, they are working with or wanting for you to become aware of something. Like I said, they could be guiding you in this way. Okay, but the clarifier I was meant to pull out was number 35 with breathe it in, instincts and alluring, and the message, take the time to smell. Your sense of smell may be extra heightened right now. Smell the smells you love. Light a candle, use new lotions, perfumes, entice your senses or your partners. So some of you could have the ability of... I'm not quite sure if it's clairsalience, which is the ability to receive intuitive or psychic information through smell. So in the next 7 days, you might find yourself picking up on scents that are not associated with your environment. So for example, out of the blue, you might start picking up on the scent of roses or flowers, but then you look around and there's no flowers in sight, or there isn't anything that is flower or rose scented. And that is because you aren't smelling with your nose. It's more like you are intuitively or psychically picking up on a scent. So pay attention to those kind of experiences if you do have them, because for example, if there is a loved one who has passed on, who is on the other side, who often wore a rose scented perfume or cologne, or really loved roses or flowers, you picking up on this scent could be an indicator that the presence, the essence of this passed on loved one is currently with you, or that they are trying to connect with you, or they are connecting with you in that moment. But breathe it in and time. It also makes me think of taking some time to relax, to rest, to catch your breath. So sometime in these next 7 days, you might feel drawn or feel a need to slow it down, or you might find yourself needing to catch your breath. Now I'm being reminded of Alice in Wonderland, the White Rabbit, how he was often literally running because he was running out of time, or he was late to somewhere. So yeah, that could be you. There is a possibility that you might end up running a little bit late to something. So just remember, these readings are here to give you a heads up, right? So nothing is set in stone. Nothing has to come to pass if you don't want to, or if there is something that you can do in the here and now to create a shift or a change. So if you do have something scheduled for the next 7 days, just remember to set your alarm, or don't hit that snooze button more than once. Give yourself an ample amount of time for anything. Like if your appointment is at 10 a.m., instead of setting your alarm for 9:30, giving yourself 30 minutes to get ready and to reach the place, give yourself an hour or an hour and 30 minutes, calculate how much time, because I'm seeing something about calculating time or estimating your time, how much time it will take you to get ready, the ETA, so forth. So consider the factors is what is coming through. Consider traffic, consider if you do need transportation, how much does it take for the bus to arrive, or consider the fact that sometimes the bus does run late, or if your car is running low on gas, consider the fact that you might need to stop for gas. Those kind of things, take them into consideration so that you won't be caught off guard, because there is something here about preventing something. So I feel like if you choose to manage your time, if you choose to make time or consider the factors, you won't need to at all have to experience any inconveniences or have to experience any kind of delays. It might also help to prepare everything that you need or will take with you the night before. Maybe make a list of what you need and then collect those items and set them all aside in a specific spot that is immediately visible to you. In this way, you will save some time and have less to worry about on the day of. And if you tend to get distracted or struggle with estimating how much time something will take, giving yourself ample amount of time and setting reminders and alarms might help. I myself tend to underestimate how much time something will take me, and feeling quite confident about my estimate, I end up not checking in with the clock and spending way too much time on one task, and then I find myself rushing trying to get everything else done on time. So now I remind myself that the clock and alarm is there for a reason. It's a tool that can definitely be of great help if used responsibly. And because we literally have the message here, take the time to smell. This is making me think of stopping to smell the flowers, the roses. So I do see you taking some time to slow down, be more present, take in your environment perhaps, or do something that is quite enjoyable and relaxing to you. I did see at the start, or I did get an image of someone getting a facial done. So some of you could actually be setting an appointment for a facial, but others of you could be choosing to take some time in the afternoon when you're winding down to, put on a face mask or just do something that really relaxes you and soothes you. Not only you mentally, but also your physical body. That allows you to release any tension that you're holding in your physical body. I also see a lot of you guys taking some time or dedicating time to journal. that could be something that you're starting to do or considering doing, or maybe it's something that you have been doing and I do see you continuing this practice for these next 7 days, because I see that it was very therapeutic for you, or you find it quite helpful to jot down your thoughts or to introspect through journaling. Perhaps some of you could be really into creative writing. You might actually be writers. I did kind of mention something along those lines when I talked about a publishing company, so that could definitely be your case. You could be very drawn to scents. I do feel like a lot of you have a very sensitive nose. So maybe you often steer away from anything that has a strong scent to it because you could get headaches easily, or maybe you are allergic or have or experience asthma. But I feel like sometime in these next 7 days, you either will find a scent that is very much to your taste or to your liking, or that doesn't create a negative reaction in you. Yeah, because I do see you being drawn to scents. And what is coming through is like very light and fresh fragrances, like sea breeze or ocean breeze or linen scent, something along those lines. Some of you could be like washing your linens, or like I said, you could be doing some deep cleaning of your space in the next 7 days and enjoying the results of it. Because what came through, the message that just came to mind was enjoying being clean or being in a clean space. Yeah, so some of you, your environment could have a very strong effect on you. So you might find yourself feeling less energetic or inspired, motivated, or maybe more irritable, frustrated when you are in a messy, cluttered, or stuffy space. So making sure that your space is clean, is organized, is smelling good could be very important to you, or you will find sometime in the next 7 days that it does make a difference. Some of you could be experiencing an itchy nose or be susceptible to nasal allergies in the next 7 days. The feather in the nose illustrations made me think of an itchy nose. Some of you may actually suffer from or often deal with seasonal allergies, and it could just be that time of the year, which I hope that isn't the case, because I myself have seasonal allergies and I know how much it can suck. So I hope you don't experience that. And as a precautionary measure, if you are dusting or cleaning sometime in the next 7 days, consider wearing a mask or protection to prevent inhaling all that dust, because those dust mites or bunnies might be hitting hard. This might sound a bit silly, but for some of you, your guides could playfully mess with you by creating an itch-like sensation in, on, or around your nose. That could be their way of letting you know that they are trying to connect or communicate with you, or to pay attention. If it happens to be either the 1st, the 3rd, or the 5th of the next 7 days, pay close attention to those specific days, because they may be of importance or significance. Also, these times, like around 1, 3, or 5 in the afternoon, or it could even be like in the early morning, could be important. Also, if you find yourself getting a lot of headaches, consider if there is anything that is emitting a strong smell or scent, because that may be the thing that is causing you like the headaches. That's just a suggestion, because definitely these headaches could be due to something else, and I don't want you to ignore that possibility. So yeah, if it's getting pretty intense, these headaches, then please do consider visiting your primary care provider, a doctor, a specialist. Don't ignore your health. It's just based on the cards, and what I was sensing intuitively is that it's being suggested that something in your environment could be affecting you or creating some form of physical discomfort. So if you're someone who wears hand lotions, like scented hand lotion, for example, or you do like lighting candles or incense, or you enjoy like diffusers, it could be the scent of one or more of these things that could be creating some physical discomfort. Also, the sands in the hourglass is making me think of hydrating yourself. So also, if you haven't been drinking enough water, that could also be affecting you in some way. So just remember to hydrate. Yeah, but now let me pull out some extra oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. Yeah, but again, if any of these factors you have already considered them, taking them into account, but still you're experiencing the same symptoms, then again, please don't hesitate to reach out to a professional, a care provider, or ask for professional advice. But we have every problem is a messy, beautiful gift. And again, we have a representation of a moon phase as well as the sun. So this is making me think of, again, time passing and of pulling an all-nighter. So if you have been pulling all-nighters, or you happen to pull an all-nighter sometime in the next 7 days, just remember to recover those hours of sleep. It's important that you do, because if you don't, your body will do it for you in some way or the other. And oftentimes what our body resorts to in order to get what it needs, in order to keep thriving, it's not quite pleasant. Yeah, so if you can take, matters into your own hands, schedule in time for rest or make time for rest, please do so. Prioritize your health and your well-being. And with spiritual guidance, I feel like if your schedule is often really tight, or you're already doing a lot, working hard to just get by or meet the demands of the day, your spirit guides, your spiritual team is intervening these next 7 days. They're going to make time for you. They're just hoping that this time that is being given to you, you will use it to your advantage to catch up on much needed rest, to meet your basic needs, giving yourself time for rest or making yourself a proper meal, or it's meant for you. So they hope that you utilize it for what it's meant to be for. Yeah, so if something ends up getting canceled, or you find yourself with free time, know that is purposeful. That was intended, because this time is being freed for you. Okay. But we also have, there is no worthiness to prove. Know you are perfect as you are, and life is supposed to be fun. And we have an infinity symbol here, and more hands. So these might be important symbols or signs that you will be seeing often in the next 7 days. But yes, I feel like this message is simply, I feel like your spirit guides really want to remind you that you're worthy no matter what. You don't have to prove your worth. And so you didn't come into this world, into this life, just to fulfill some kind of mission or task. You came into this life to live. So it's okay for you to simply be. For you to enjoy yourself and have fun. But we also have, what has happened is old news. Nothing is stagnant and everything moves forward. Revel in the knowing that you are always creating new news. So if you have been worried whether you are running out of time, or whether you've lost an opportunity or you missed your timing, you are being let know that you haven't. And new opportunities will present themselves along the way, or other chances. And you can always start and commence something at any given moment in time. It's never too late. And this is also making me think of not getting stuck in the past. What has happened is already in the past. You don't have to revisit it. You don't have to relive it. It doesn't have to be a part of your present or your future. If you don't want it to be, of course, it's always important to consider the past, because it is from past experiences that we have come to learn and understand things. So the past is important, yet it doesn't have to necessarily repeat itself, and you don't have to stay stuck in it, because you can transmute it. Like by learning from the past, understanding it, you can do something different and create something entirely new. Yeah, and there's this feeling of they will move on. Yeah, so if you're worried about your past or something that happened recently being brought up again, or you being associated with something that happened in the past, your guides are saying it doesn't have to be this way. Like people will eventually move on, or if you yourself choose to move on and create something new and move with the intention of experiencing newness, then you don't and you won't be associated with the past or whatever past experience you're worried about. I'm not quite sure what this may be about, but it is what came through. So yeah, I'm sharing it with you guys in case it does make sense or resonate with any one of you. Because there's something here like the past or something of the past may be brought up, or people might want to bring it up, but it doesn't have to stay. You yourself don't have to associate or create your whole identity around this past experiences or your past, because you are more than your experiences. And I feel like your spirit guides, they really hope that you understand that and that you truly embody that. Because if you do, then people or others will also move on. They will move on with you. That's how it's coming through. So you can enjoy yourself now. You can create and do something different. But let's see. You guys could be very drawn to water these next 7 days, like bodies of water. You could also find yourself being more mindful of keeping yourself hydrated. Yeah, but I see something about you being drawn to or feeling very connected to the element of water. And anything that inspires in you a very fresh and light feeling, which is why I was talking about like fresh or light scents. Yeah, anything that feels, smells fresh, clean, I feel you will be very drawn to it. But these are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. And to all of you who watch the advertisements or just let them run in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And I'm wishing you, and oh sorry, Hulk just came through. Hulk could be significance for some of you guys. Okay, but before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to Spirit and your spirit guides who assisted me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you a wonderful next 7 days. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you chose the card Abundance, bienvenidos to your reading. So in the next 7 days, you might be receiving your paycheck or a financial return of something you've invested either money or time in. Yeah, because I see you feeling quite abundant and quite happy with the outcome of something that you've worked hard at or invested a lot of time and energy into, or of the financial profit you are seeing. Yeah, I just feel like some of you, if you're getting paid sometime in the next 7 days, you're quite happy about this. Maybe you were looking forward to getting paid, which I mean, who doesn't, right? But there's this feeling of you were looking forward to this money or this paycheck or this return. Some of you could be receiving some kind of bonus, financial bonus in the next 7 days, or you could be getting the news that you will be receiving one in the near future. And if you are self-employed, an independent worker, or a freelancer, and you don't have, let's say, a stable income, like it fluctuates, in the next 7 days, money will be coming in. So you might see or experience an increase in profit and revenue, or you could be getting offers for gigs, jobs, maybe commissions that will be paying you quite handsomely. And so I see you being quite excited about that. Yeah, because with the abundance card, there's this overall sense of someone feeling rich, financially rich or abundant. Yeah, so things might be looking up for you financially sometime in the next 7 days. And what else came through when meditating upon this group's energy was the message, pleased to meet your acquaintance. So these next 7 days, you might be meeting up with someone or connecting with someone who you will end up working with, or who you have been wanting to reach out to or get in touch with. Yeah, because I see you being quite pleased with getting acquainted with someone, or it could be more than one person. So this might be someone that you have been wanting to meet, or you have reached out to and were hoping they will reach back out to you. And I feel that this has something to do with a collaboration or with maybe a business partnership. It has something to do with work or business. So maybe you have been trying to reach out to a company in hopes to collaborate with them, in hopes that they will sponsor you perhaps, or you have been reaching out to a fellow colleague, a creator, in hopes that you could work together or that you could get their insight perhaps. Maybe you have been applying for a job or a position, a role. Yeah, and it seems like in the next 7 days you're hearing back from them. And if you feel inclined to reach out to them again, like send them a follow-up email, or even send them a thank you email or card, yeah, you're being let know that it's okay for you to do so, and that it will be a good idea. There's nothing wrong with sending a follow-up email or reaching out again, right? If you haven't heard back from somewhere or someone in a while. And actually, some of you may be receiving a thank you letter, or you could be receiving a bouquet of flowers, or a note, a postcard, a card from someone in these next 7 days. Yeah, but I keep thinking of a collaboration, of a sponsorship, of a deal. So some of you could be getting a deal, or a company, a label could be reaching out to you in the next 7 days, offering something. And what just came to mind was, you got the deal. You got the deal. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out the rest of the cards to get a little more insight about the next 7 days. The scene from the movie, I forgot the title of the movie. It's with Tom Cruise, but it's known for the famous phrase, "Show me the money." So if you've been waiting to sign a deal or to receive news that you got a deal, you might very well be receiving these news sometime in the next 7 days. Oh, the Joker again. So this card fell out for group 1. So the Joker is sort of an equivalent to the Fool card in traditional tarot. And personally, I often think of the Joker card of this deck as a fast pass card. Yet right now for this reading, I am thinking of it as a free pass. So yeah, this is making me think of you getting the deal, getting that passing card, or even passing grade. Some of you, if you are students and you have yet to find out whether you passed a course or not, I feel like you will be getting your grades or an update on your grades sometime in the next 7 days, and it will be good news. You will find out that you did indeed pass. And for a lot of you, it could be extra credit or extra points that you received that helped with you passing, or with you getting a higher percentage. Yeah, that might be for a select few of you. Yet with Joker, this is making me think of happiness, of being joyful, being quite excited, and feeling like you've hit the jackpot. Like feeling like you came out winning. Yeah, so something seems to be going pretty well, or turning out pretty well for you guys in these next 7 days. I also get the feeling that something that you planned for, you're executing it well, or it has been executed well, and the results are just as you expected for them to be, or even better. Yeah, I just keep hearing, or the message, the phrase, I came out winning, keeps coming to mind. The Joker, or at least for this spread, it has this trickster vibe to it. Or it's reminding me a lot of the Magician in tarot, which is making me think of pulling tricks. And so what is coming through is that your tricks or your approach worked, and you're quite happy about that. Like, you're quite pleased with yourself is the feeling I'm getting. And we have the Queen of Swords with number 42 and the word amor. So the Queen of Swords represents intelligence, quick wit, being straightforward, direct, bluntness. So as mentioned, it seems like something that you formulated, planned, is working, and you're quite pleased about it. Your technique, maybe it's a technique, your technique, it's working. Like, if you recently made adjustments, or you developed a new technique, or you made some updates, it seems like you're getting good results from this. Like, you're seeing a good outcome. There is some kind of betterment, and that is proof to you that this new approach, your technique, your adjustments, updates, they've worked, and that they are working. With amor, and the message here, amor is a sign that someone is looking at you with great love and longing. It makes me think of you garnering the attention of the right people, or of people. So it's possible that your intelligence, your wit, your ingenuity, it's garnering attention, because there seems to be an interest in either you or something that you're doing, developing, or working on. So like I said, sometime in the next 7 days, you might be receiving an offer, or more than one offer actually, but I feel like there's something you have had your eyes set on, something that you were intending, and it's happening. Like, you're getting a call back, for example, or the person you had your eyes on is reaching out to you. Like, something that you did worked or is working, and you're quite thrilled. Yeah, I do, with this Cupid hitting the heart, I do see you getting an offer or being offered some kind of deal. Someone is interested in working with you or collaborating with you. And the Fool can indicate new beginnings. So I feel like a lot of you could be starting somewhere new in the next 7 days. So if you have been applying for jobs, you will be getting a job, and your first day at this job could be sometime in the next 7 days. Because I see you being a part of something, or you taking your gifts, your skills, your abilities somewhere. Like, you're adding to something, or you're bringing something to the table. Yeah, so if you were intending to work with someone or intending for a collaboration, it seems like you already started developing something, and this collaboration will only add to it. Or maybe you were looking for a sponsor, you were looking for an investor, and you're getting it. Because it seems like you already have something on your mind. You are already planning for something. You're simply looking for opportunities to either execute this plan or further develop it, or maybe bring an idea to life. And this next 7 days, you're seeing that it will be possible, or you will be getting an opportunity to do so, and you're quite happy about that. And with abundance and the Queen of Swords, I get this feeling that you guys, you are quite aware of what you bring to the table, or what you can bring to the table. And so it's something like, if you were to apply for a job, you're more concerned about what this job, this company that you're applying to will be able to offer you. Apart from, like a paycheck or a salary or benefits, what will they be able to offer you in terms to experience? Because you already know what you're bringing to the table. So now you want to know what the other party is bringing to the table. Like, that's what you're mostly concerned about. So there's this feeling of, it's not me who's getting lucky if you accept me, it's you who will be hitting the jackpot if you do make me a part of your team. Or it's not only you interviewing me, I am also interviewing you to consider whether you are a worthy candidate or not. Yeah, with the Queen of Spades, this is making me think of someone considering or seeing themselves, or just knowing that they are an ace. It could also be that if you're not really resonating with this energy, it could be that in the next 7 days, you will be meeting someone who is embodying this energy, who knows their worth, knows what they bring to the table, knows that they are quite talented, skillful at something, that they could also be a jack of all trades, for example. Like, even if they don't know something, they are bound to learn it and excel at it, that kind of vibe. Yeah, so I will say I'm getting a lot of confidence here, but I'm also getting a bit of a cocky energy, or someone who promotes themselves quite well. Like, there's this feeling of saying yes to something before even knowing what it's about, because they are that confident that they will succeed, do well, or make it work no matter what. Because the Queen of Swords is quite intelligent. So yeah, I feel like you guys are quite intelligent, or you are able to pick up on things quickly, or you will be able to in the next 7 days. Also, someone could be tooting your horn a lot these next 7 days with amour. Someone could be flirting with you quite a bit. If you are currently in a romantic relationship, it could be your romantic partner. But if you're single, there could be an admirer who will be coming forward in the next 7 days, or this could be someone new who will immediately recognize, see your worth, your value as a person. Like, they will know right from the start that you are someone who is quite capable, or with a lot of maybe hidden gifts or talents. They will see your potential right away. Yeah, I'm getting admiration from this Cupid. So you could be receiving a lot of compliments from people or from a specific person. They could be a little over the top, or that's how you might perceive them to be. Yeah, because that's the feeling I get with Joker. Like, you might think that this person is just joking around or being over the top with you, but they aren't. They are being quite sincere and genuine. They actually do see you as this great, magnificent individual, as someone who is quite capable. They see you as this queen. This could simply be someone that admires you, or will end up admiring you a lot. So it doesn't have to turn into anything romantic. But for others of you, this could actually be someone who is or will be quite infatuated with you. Yeah, because with abundance, it's making me think of gifts. This person's love language could be gift giving. I'm being reminded of that one episode in SpongeBob SquarePants where Mr. Krabs falls for Mrs. Puff, and his love language is gift giving, which is quite interesting, being that it's Mr. Krabs, who is quite cheap, and he ends up buying all these gifts, investing all his money on showering Mrs. Puff with gifts. So in the next 7 days, someone may be showering you with gifts and or with compliments. The feeling I get with the Joker is someone being over the moon with another, or head over heels for another. The phrase "goo goo gaga" came to mind. Because I'm seeing someone getting teased, like getting teased by their friends or their loved ones, because of how enamored or how over the moon they are for someone. Interesting. And I was messing with the deck, and this card flipped over, Extra Joker. Yeah, so this makes me think of extra affection. Someone has extra affection or interest in you. There's also this feeling of someone betting on you, and I don't mean that in a She's All That movie premise way. It's more like they are rooting for you. They are willing to, just as an example, this could be like a coach who sees potential in a trainee, and they're willing to train them for free. Like, they are willing to dedicate their time and energy on helping this trainee better their skills, because they believe that they can do great things, like that sort of thing. So yeah, it seems like someone is really, really entranced by you, or just taken by you. Like, it could be in a professional sense, like they really admire your work, what you do, or maybe your willingness to learn, to improve, your confidence perhaps, your skills. Yeah, because with abundance, it makes me think that you guys are full of gifts. You yourself are a treasure. Or this could be in a more personal, intimate sense, where someone is quite taken by you, like they have a strong affection for you, they're quite infatuated with you. They might even kind of tend to put you on a pedestal. But with Extra Joker, this is just making me think of being extra happy, extra pleased, extra satisfied with something. So in the next 7 days, you I see you being quite satisfied and fulfilled with something that you did or are doing, or the results, the outcome that you are seeing. I see you being quite content, more than content actually. It could even be with a more that in terms to your relationships, things are going great. You're feeling quite fulfilled. There's a lot of love, reciprocity, mutual affection, or you're receiving a lot of love. You are single. You could, like I said, be meeting someone in the next 7 days or be getting to know someone more and finding out that you've hit the jackpot. Like you've hit the jackpot with this person. But let me pull out some extra oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. So we have release worry, know that everything is going to be all right. So this is further confirmation that everything is going to turn out all right. So if you were worrying about something at some point, it feels like in the next 7 days, you won't. You won't. Or this is just your reminder that there is no need to worry because things seem to be going pretty good for you and looking up for you. Butterflies, doves, the element of fire or flames could be important symbols or signs that you might be seeing in the next 7 days. Doves make me think of prosperity and moments of peace, harmony. So I don't see you experiencing any challenges or any turmoil in the next 7 days. Things seem to be going pretty well and working for you. And we have your inner being is a natural state of love. Love regardless of the conditions. So we have the word love coming up again. And seeing that it came up in, different languages, some of you could be connecting with someone whose first language is different from yours or who has a different cultural background than you. This could be the secret admirer who will be coming forth or the one who is quite taken by you. With the Queen of Swords, swords having to do with communication, logic, intellect, the mind, there is something about languages and communication. Maybe some of you are in that field or learning more about that subject. But what is coming through is that some of you could possibly be currently learning another language. And these next 7 days, you might be practicing with someone who is very fluent in the language that you are currently learning how to speak or understand. Yeah, some of you could be bilingual, or you could already know more or be fluent in more than 1 or 2 languages. What else is coming through is that in the next 7 days, you will experience different types of love, which is why you were drawn to abundance, because you are experiencing not only familial love, but also platonic love, as well as romantic love. And with all this green background in the abundance card, and then a heart literally showing up in your spread, some of you may be experiencing a heart chakra activation, or your heart chakra, this energy center of yours, will be very active in the next 7 days. So you yourself may feel an abundance of love. You may experience a lot of feelings of gratitude, of appreciation, contentment. And I do get the feeling that some of you will be connecting or communicating a lot, because I do see a back and forth communication with someone who is possibly at a physical distance from you. I am seeing a long distance relationship. So some of you could currently be in a long distance relationship, or in the next 7 days, you will be chatting back and forth with someone who is at a physical distance from you. Yet what I'm seeing based on the illustration of this card is that distance isn't an obstacle in this relationship. Like, even though there is physical distance between you both, it doesn't get in between you two. Like, you can still reach out to one another even if you are miles and miles apart from each other. This makes me think of a very strong, deep bond, and even of a psychic or spiritual connection. And this long distance relationship may be with a romantic partner, but it could also be with a platonic partner or friend, because I am picking up on the energy of a platonic relationship, a very strong, deep, beautiful friendship. But it could be both as well. And sometime in the next 7 days, you may be having one or more dreams about someone who you haven't seen in a while. And this is someone who might be a childhood friend or someone that you've maybe lost contact with because they moved, or or you just naturally drifted apart from each other. Because I do feel like whoever is visiting you in your dreams, they are someone who you have fond memories of, or they are someone who you have a sweet and endearing connection with. I'm getting something like soul bonds. So it could be someone that you have met in this 3D, but it could also be someone that you haven't met yet. And it could also be that if you have met them in the 3D, maybe you didn't have such a strong or deep relationship with them in the 3D, yet your souls are quite fond of one another. Again, it's making me think of like physical distance can come between you both. So you could have a very strong spiritual connection to this person, or your souls are quite close. Even if your physical vessels, like in the 3D, you as individuals might not be that close to one another, your souls are. And this soul relationship might manifest or express itself a lot via your dreams, because it's said that when we dream, our astral bodies and they travel, or we awake in the 5D. So yeah, if that message was for you, I'm sure that it will make sense to you. Because these dreams will be very pleasant. You will wake up from them feeling quite full, quite happy, content, and with a warm and loving feeling. Yeah, so if you have a friend who is abroad or is at a distance from you, I feel like you will be getting in contact with them in the next 7 days. Or if you have someone, a loved one who is on the other side, who has passed on, they could be visiting you a lot in your dreams. And I do see you, once you awake, recalling these dreams, which will reassure you and let you know that they're still with you, that you can still contact them, communicate with them, and connect with them, even if their physical form is no longer here in this plane of reality, in this 3D. Yeah, the number 42 stood out to me, so someone could be 42 years of age. Also, the character Joker could be of significance, or the movie itself could be of relevance or importance. And the Miley Cyrus song, the one that goes, "I can buy myself flowers," just came to mind. So that song may be of relevance or significance. Cherubs could be of significance as well. Oh, and if I haven't mentioned it already, the Queen of Swords is associated with air signs, so Libra, Aquarius, and or Gemini. Just putting it out there in case it's of relevance and or significance. Yeah, and if you, as of yet, do not practice the divination arts, in the next 7 days, you might feel called to learn more about them or actually practice them yourself, or you might get curious about it. And if you do practice the divination arts in the next 7 days, you could be trying out a new divination art form. Like, for example, if you read tarot, maybe in the next 7 days, you'll work with the crystal ball. And I do see you playing around with something, like getting curious about something and playing around with it as you learn more about it. Yeah, and if you are practicing a divination art with release worry, you can relax a little bit when it comes to it. You can allow yourself to have fun as you learn and practice. It doesn't have to be all very serious. Release some of the tension by allowing yourself a little play and fun. But a few things I want to point out: hearts or heart-shaped things could be of significance, as well as flowers, the color green, crystal balls, butterflies, white birds or doves, and also the bird albatross could be of significance in the next 7 days. Albatross, they soar overseas for miles without rest, and they work with the currents of the winds in order to save themselves a lot of work. And I believe albatrosses also soar for miles in order to find or meet their counterpart, and they do mate for life. Yeah, so in the next 7 days, I see you working with your environment. I see you working with what you've got in order to create something beautiful or create opportunities for yourself or obtain the best possible outcome. So I don't see you blocking yourself or limiting yourself in any way. And yeah, if you are at a distance from someone, you're finding ways to get in contact with this person or maintain contact and communication with this individual. The message that just came to mind was, if you want something bad enough, or if it's that meaningful to you, you find a way. You always find a way, because there is a way. Or you make it. Okay, but these are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. And if you are interested in a personal reading, I do offer them, and all the information to that is provided in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. But thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, since that is a simple way, or the simplest way, to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to Spirit for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. So thank you, Spirit. And I am wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful, prosperous, and happy next 7 days. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you chose the card Intuition, bienvenidos to your reading. So a few words and messages came to mind when meditating on this group's energy, which were winter, taken by the storm, and unrest. So seeing that bears do hibernate during winter time, in the next 7 days, you might choose to retreat, maybe slow it down or take it slow, or take a break from something. But I do see you pulling your energy back in a sense, kind of in a way going into hibernation mode or possibly hermit mode. And with intuition, I feel like in the next 7 days, you are going to be quite in tune with your own intuition. You are going to follow those inner nudges and pulls, where if you are feeling a need to retreat, you're not really resisting it, you're going along with it. And I am picking up on silence. So in the next 7 days, you might find yourself being a little bit more reserved and choosing to maybe not be as vocal or communicative. And it's not like you're giving someone the cold shoulder or you are closing off completely. It's more like you being observant and not forcing anything, where you're not speaking simply to fill the silence. If you're choosing to vocalize something, it's because you feel, believe, know that it's needed or necessary. And there's something here about reserving your energy. So as mentioned, you might choose to take it slow. And I feel that in the next 7 days, you won't feel inclined to be participant to, get involved in, or engage with any kind of drama. So if there are people in your life who you know love drama, they like to instigate drama or gossip, or the word that just came through was frivolity. In the next 7 days, you might choose to, or you might not feel inclined to gravitate towards those individuals. It's not to say that you're, cutting connection with them or you're shutting them out of your life. It's more like I see you being quite mindful and selective as to who you're spending time with in the next 7 days. I just see someone being very observant, and in a conversation, they are choosing to listen rather than to speak or contribute to the conversation. And if they do contribute, it's because they truly feel inclined to do so, or it's because they were asked a question. But I see you being quite mindful of your words, of what it is that you're communicating and expressing, and I don't see you having any need or feeling inclined to overshare or over-explaining yourself. Like I said, I see you reserving your energy, like you are offering and doing what is necessary. Like, I don't see you going overboard or going above and beyond or overextending yourself in the next 7 days. I mean, we're only looking into the next 7 days. So maybe these next 7 days, you're in this energy because you are recovering or recuperating from like a burnout. Like you are reserving your energy because you maybe are feeling a bit depleted. And so you're not wanting to reach a point of a burnout. Or if you have experienced a recent burnout, then this is the time in which you are recharging in a sense. But the bear made me think of California. So some of you could be from California, or in the next 7 days or sometime in the next 7 days, you could be residing or visiting this state. And there's also something here about the weather. So wherever you are staying or residing in the next 7 days, the weather could be not to your liking or quite unfavorable to you. And what I mean by that is, for example, if you are someone who does not like hot climates, high temperatures, because instead of feeling energized and pumped up, you feel low on energy, you feel a little lethargic, like instead of being out and about, you just want to be indoors, cooling off, taking a nap and so forth. Like if weather, climate really influences you or has a deep impact on your mood and your energy levels, then in the next 7 days, the weather, the climate could be one that, as mentioned, is not to your liking or creates this response or reaction in you where you just want to take it slow, maybe sleep or cool off or try to keep warm, because I know some people get the winter blues. Yeah, but what I'm sensing with the bear is that in the next 7 days, it might just be a little too hot. I'm getting like heat, the sun. So, you know, the temperatures might just be a little too high or a little too low for it to be safe enough or comfortable enough to be out and about, be outside, or be engaging in very strenuous activities. Yeah, so some of you might just be doing your very best trying to keep cool or keep warm in the next 7 days. But let us now move on to the rest of the cards. Also, bears could be a significant animal for some of you guys. It could be an animal totem of yours. I feel like in the next 7 days, you're really going to pay attention to your body, like what it needs, what it's asking for. I don't see you forcing anything. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, number 12, with children. And interesting because the Queen of Pentacles is associated with earth sign, earth element. So earth signs will be Capricorn, Virgo, and or Taurus. And I get a very earthy vibe from the bear as well. And the earth element is all about being grounded, being present. It represents stability, security, and level-headedness. So these next 7 days, I see you being quite practical with your decisions and your approach. Yeah, like I said, I don't see you pushing or forcing for anything. Like, if it makes sense to stay indoors because it's super hot outside, then you're staying indoors. There's this feeling of if you don't need to, then you're not forcing yourself. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is quite respectable. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is quite organized, level-headed, grounded, and quite generous as well. So 2 cards fell out as clarifiers. So we have underestimated with you'll understand with distance, and the message, there may be something you are unsure about. But when it's gone, it will be understood fully and even missed. Even if there is a struggle involved, trying not to hide the feeling away. Take nothing for granted and acknowledge how distance can allow for the answer to your questions. And we also have number 63 with communication and messages and gifts, as well as new means of communication is necessary, whether online communication, phone, in person, or through letters or gifts, something needs to be communicated, but in a way you aren't used to. You may also receive a message unexpected and unusual. Appreciate the little gestures. They can make the most impact. Yeah, okay, so with the Queen of Pentacles, in the next 7 days, you are keeping to your own affairs. And with this illustration of a road, it's making me think of staying on your lane. So, as mentioned, these next 7 days, you are being quite mindful of not getting involved with anything that might deplete you of your energy or that is unnecessary. Yet, this doesn't mean that you are cutting communication or that you are shutting anyone out or shutting yourself out from the rest of the world. Because as mentioned, the Queen of Pentacles can be very generous. The feeling I get from the Queen of Pentacles is that she is available most of the time. She is willing to help and be there for their loved ones. And I feel like you are very much like this Queen of Pentacles. The bear reminds me of compassion, and the bear also makes me think of a mama bear who can be very protective over their loved ones. And I feel you yourself are quite protective and caring and nurturing. And yeah, especially because we have children here, you could have a very motherly vibe. You could be often seen as the mother archetype, the nurturer of your friend group or your family. Like if people have problems or issues, they could often reach out to you. With this star here and this hand reaching out to this star at the end of the road, it makes me think of someone reaching out for guidance or advice. You know, if people feel like they need guidance or advice or a healthy, different perspective onto a situation, they might often reach out to you for it. And I feel like you are open to offering it when asked. Like I said, you could be very generous with your time and your energy. Yet, what I'm seeing for the next 7 days is that you're not seeking to comfort others. Like, I don't see you searching for problems to solve, or I don't see you, in a way, getting into people's business, trying to fix their problems for them or anything of the sort. Like, it's not you reaching out, trying to be of assistance. It's more like if people reach out to you asking for help, then you will be willing to aid and to help the best that you can or how much you can. So you're not locking doors, you're keeping your doors unlocked, but then it's up to others whether they want to go up to your door and knock and ask if you're there and ask to come in, right? But you yourself are always open. So there's a difference here, a difference of someone seeking to help versus someone being there and being open to help. Right? And I feel like you're more in that energy of being open, which makes me think again of someone who isn't speaking or talking or saying just about anything simply to fill the silence. Like they're being very purposeful with their communication. So that's what I see for the next 7 days, you being very purposeful and letting people come to you or reach out to you. And the other thing I get with underestimated is that if in the past you often sought validation, like external validation, or you were the one often reaching out to others, asking how they were, or asking if they could meet up, or asking to connect, or making that effort to connect, I feel like in the next 7 days you're going to choose to take a more laid-back approach where you're letting others reach out to you. It's this feeling of, you know where to find me, you have my number, you know my schedule, you know that I'm here. So if you want to talk, then reach out to me. If you want to connect, then reach out to me. Yeah, I won't be the one reaching out, at least not for these next 7 days. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, because we do have the number 12 here, and the 12th major arcana of the tarot is the Hanged Man, which is Piscean energy, yet the Hanged Man speaks about pause. It can also speak about looking at things from a different perspective. So I feel like you're taking a different approach in the next 7 days. If, like I said, you are someone who usually tends to seek or reach out, or who is often the one putting most of the work and the effort to maintain communication and connection. And with intuition, as mentioned, I feel like in the next 7 days, you're not forcing for anything. You're not letting fear, especially irrational fear, get the best of you. Like if something doesn't feel right, then you're letting it be. Because what was coming through was this feeling of FOMO, like a fear of missing out, which often drives people to do things that they don't naturally feel inclined to do. They just do it because of this fear of missing out. And so if you often struggle with FOMO, or you find yourself being a little bit impulsive with your actions, with your decisions because of this fear of missing out, for example, I feel like in the next 7 days, you're leaving that FOMO behind. It's not really a main player in your decisions or in your actions. So if you're making a call, for example, right, you're making a call because you felt genuinely inclined to do so, because something in you, possibly your intuition, nudged you to do so. And with this message, you'll understand with distance, in the next 7 days, you might choose or feel inclined to be a little bit more reserved. And it could be because you are literally trying to reserve your energy, or you have been tapping into your reserves. And so you're a little bit more mindful as to not overextend yourself so you won't experience burnout or depletion. But I do feel like sometime in the next 7 days, you might choose to retreat, and it could be to introspect about something. Because with communication, I feel like there is something that you want to address. Maybe there is a conversation that you want to have with someone, or there is something that you want to communicate, but you are taking your time to really assess and contemplate on what is the best way to maybe address the situation, or how to communicate what it is that you want to express. So you could be taking the time to think about what it is that you're going to say, or what it is that you want to say. And this makes me think of someone who has to make a call, but if they get a little bit nervous when they are on the phone, before they make a call, they plan what they're going to say. They maybe even jot down on a paper, on a notebook, what points they want to address, so that they won't feel overwhelmed while they are on the phone talking. They will have this guideline that will help them stay on track. So that's kind of the energy I'm picking up here from you for the next 7 days. You could be organizing your thoughts, thinking about what it is that you want to say, what maybe even thinking or coming up with questions that you want answered, or you want more clarity about. Yeah, some of you could actually be making an important call, or maybe sending an email perhaps. And so you're taking your time, because the Queen of Pentacles and the Bear makes me think of practicing patience. And I do see you practicing patience in the next 7 days. And I don't see you being impatient with practicing this patience. Because I see you being very willing and wanting to take your time to maybe even plan ahead, or just take your time to understand and to make sense of things, make sense of your own thoughts, organize your own thoughts, and formulate your own opinions as well. Because I'm getting this energy of thinking before you speak. And I'm being reminded of Mulan, the Disney movie Mulan. So that movie in itself could be of significance. But yeah, I do eventually see you getting something off of your chest, or making that call, sending that email. Yeah, so it's not that you're keeping silent, because that's not the vibe I'm getting. You're saying what you want to say, yet you're not being reckless with your communication, is how it's coming through. And I feel like in the next 7 days, you're discovering, really understanding that there's more than one way to communicate. Not everything has to be verbal or written. You can communicate a lot through silence. You can communicate a lot through gestures and action as well. And so that's why I mentioned that in the next 7 days, you will find yourself being quite observant, because you're not only listening to what other people are saying, but you're also observing what they're doing. Are their actions aligning with what they are verbally expressing, or what they are communicating? They're saying one thing, but their gesture, their tone are implying something else. And so, yeah, I see you taking your time with things. That's the feeling I get with underestimated. And oftentimes if you are the silent type, more of an observer, people might often think that you're not really into conversations, or that you're not listening or paying attention, that maybe you don't really care or see what is going on around you. But what they don't know is that you see more than most people. That if you're keeping silent, that doesn't mean that you don't have anything to contribute, or that you don't have opinions of your own, or that you don't see what is going on around you, that you're not listening, because in actuality, you are paying attention. In actuality, as you're listening and observing, you are formulating your own opinions. And the beautiful thing I get with the Queen of Pentacles and intuition is that you are someone who is not afraid to question, to ask questions, to raise questions. You are not afraid to dig deep or to break things down, like even your own opinions. Like if you formulate an opinion of your own, you don't shy away from breaking that opinion apart to understand it more and understand yourself better and see if there's more that can be added to it, or if there is something that needs to be taken away from it. You know, you're not afraid of change and growth and intricacy as well. Yeah, and again, with the you'll understand with distance, there is this strong message of not forcing for anything. So if something doesn't make sense to you in the moment, you're not forcing for it to make sense. Like, because I keep thinking of a conversation. So if someone brings up a topic that you don't know much about, you're not forcing yourself to contribute just to contribute. You're taking your time to learn a little bit more about this topic and again, formulate your own opinion. Because the Queen of Pentacles is making me think of integrity and dignity. And so it might be very important to you, or at least these next 7 days, that what you say, what you express, what you do is truly in alignment with you. It's something that you can stand for and stand by, or that you can back it up in some way. And the reason why you might feel this way is because you might have had experiences in the past where people really took seriously what you said, or the people who are in your life or who you engage in a lot of conversations with, they might often bring up things that you said in the past. And so it's like this feeling of they aren't able to let go. And so that could have made you quite mindful of your communication, because I feel like you are someone who understands that people do change, and because of that, people's opinions will change over time. And so it's kind of silly to uphold someone to what they said in the past, or bring someone's past up, especially if the person has demonstrated so much change or they are in a different place in their life. Yet the people who are around you might not see things that way, might not see things as you do. They might have a different perspective on things. They might have this mentality that people don't change, or they might just have a difficult time letting go of the past. Because we do have children here, and it's making me think of like the 6 of Cups in the tarot, which can often represent the past or childhood memories. Yeah, so again, this is making me think of being selective. Like either based on your experience, your knowledge, or on your intuition, you are deciphering or discerning which environments, which groups it's okay for you to be completely vulnerable, open with, unfiltered, versus the environment, places, or groups where it might not be so okay to be this unfiltered, this open, this raw, this vulnerable. Yeah, this is making me think of also being very like protective of your own energy, because the Queen of Pentacles is also making me think of maturity. So it's kind of also assessing like which environments or situations are safe or like mature to talk about certain topics or address certain topics in. Like, will I be able to engage in an actual conversation if I bring this up, or will I just get resistance and admonishment, or be projected on, or receive judgment and criticism? Yeah, because I feel like you actually have a lot to say, a lot to express, and like I said, you're not one to shy away from digging deeper and asking questions or questioning. And you are also someone who might not shy away from talking about very unpopular opinions or even taboo topics. But you know, not everyone is open to those kind of things, and you realize that. And so you might be steering more towards environments, you know, groups, circles, people who are open, willing, and ready to talk about the things that you want to talk about. Yeah, because I feel like communication is very important to you. So I am sensing a lot of maturity from you, like a lot of awareness, of understanding. And I like this energy because I'm not sensing or picking up on any judgment. Like, if people are not ready to talk about a certain topic, you're not being judgmental of that. You're just being understanding of it. Like, okay, that's fine. We don't have to push for this. Like, it's fine. But I do see you, like, leaving the line open. That's the feeling I get with communication. Like, you're leaving the line open. So you might be letting others or someone know, hey, I'm ready to talk about this. Like, I'm willing. I'm open to. I'm here. So just let me know if you want to reciprocate. Like, let me know if you do want, or if you're ready to have this conversation with me. And again, we're only looking at the energy of the next 7 days. So this could be an energy that is only for the next 7 days. But let me pull out some extra oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. So we have, care about the way you feel, practice the art of allowing, and guide yourself in a more unconditional way. So I feel like this is basically what you are doing in the next 7 days. And with the Queen of Pentacles, you are coming through as someone who is quite considerate. Like, you know that your words have meaning, they have power. You know that your words, your actions, your behaviors, they can have an effect or affect on others. And I feel like you don't want to say, at least that's the sensation I'm getting from this spread, is that you don't want to say anything that you don't mean, or that you might later regret. Which, I mean, if this is taken to extremes, it can often lead to a lot of self-doubt or a lot of overthinking. But I'm sensing moderation here. Like, because there is this understanding with the Queen of Pentacles that people have their own perspective and perception. So even if you intended for something to be said, it can be interpreted completely differently. Because people will most of the times see what they know, what they themselves have an understanding for. So misunderstandings, misinterpretation can occur, and you're aware of that. And I feel like what's happening in the next 7 days is that you're fearing that less and less. Like, yes, you're still mindful of your communication and how you express yourself, but that's because you are someone who values honest communication. Yet it's not so much because you don't want to be taken the wrong way, or you don't want to be misunderstood, or anything of that sort. And a lot of you could be in a field or in a line of work that does require for you to be quite mindful of how you express yourself, of your communication. Does require some level of empathy or sympathy or sensitivity, because I'm getting a lot of nurturing, compassionate, empathic, or empathetic vibes from this Queen of Pentacles. Which, again, if that is the case, I feel like this has taught you the importance of, or the value of words, of how one expresses themselves. Some of you could actually be a mother or a mother figure to someone, to a young individual, a child perhaps. And if so, I see you being quite patient. I feel like you're always patient, but in the next 7 days you will be quite patient with your child, especially when it comes to communication. Like, maybe taking the time to better understand their way of communication, or taking the time to find ways to better communicate with your child or someone who is so young, or finding the best, healthiest, understanding and loving way to communicate something in specific. And I feel like if that is the case, you will be achieving this. And because you are coming through as someone very caring, these next 7 days, your caring nature will still be there, yet I feel like you're turning it inward. Like, you're not only caring about how others feel, or the way that others feel, but you're also caring about the way that you feel. Like, you're taking care of you. You're looking after you. Like, if there's situations or environments that deplete you or negatively affect you, you're not forcing yourself or pushing yourself to be in those situations, especially if you don't have to be. And we have, when you feel lonely, know that you are never alone. We are all connected through the harmony of non-physical energy that's always assisting you. Yeah, so I don't know if some of you often feel like you go unseen, or that you are underestimated. And if that in itself creates this feeling of loneliness. If so, your spirit guides, if you believe in spirit guides, they want you to know that you are never alone. and that there are people out there who are very similar to you. And I feel like you do have some people in your life already who you can relate to a lot. But if not, you are bound to come into contact or cross paths with these individuals, because with all these stars surrounding this person here, it's making me think of being surrounded by like-minded individuals or people of your soul family, people of your soul tribe, or even your star family. Some of you could identify as a star seed, and if that is the case, I definitely feel like more than one member of your star family is incarnated in this lifetime. So if you haven't met them already, you are bound to meet them. And I feel like you know that, because I get a very chill and relaxed vibe from this illustration. So I see you being quite at peace with yourself in the next 7 days. As mentioned, I don't see you seeking for external validation. I don't see you feeling a need to over-explain yourself or to overshare. There isn't even a need to be liked or to be accepted or to be right is the other thing that is coming through. Like, as long as you are at peace with yourself, with your own actions, with your own decisions, everything else is good. Like, people can be against you, but as long as you are not against yourself, then you're good. There's a quote that is coming to mind, and it's from an 80s film titled Some Kind of Wonderful. And the character Amanda Jones says it, which is, I'd rather be alone for the right reasons than with someone for the wrong. And I'm not sure if you really resonate with that quote, but that's the vibe I'm picking up from this illustration. Like, there's no need to surround myself with or feel a need to have the validation of those who I don't truly resonate with. There's no need to change myself, change my core beliefs and values in order to be liked or to be accepted by those who, at the end of the day, are not even making an effort to try to understand me. Because I feel like you are someone who does make an effort to understand the point of view of others. So I guess what I wanted to say this whole time is that you're not feeling inclined to argue with anyone who is not wanting to see from anyone else's perspective. Have you heard of that idiom, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink or get them to drink? I feel like you're very much living by that. Okay, I can share my opinions with you, but I'm not going to, or I don't feel a need to get you to see what I see. Like, you can stay to your own opinions if that's what you want. But hey, I'm open to talk about it. I'm open to chat. But if you don't want to, that's cool. I'm gonna save my energy for something else that is way more conducive for my mental health, well-being, and inner peace, or is possibly even way more productive than, trying to talk to someone who doesn't want to communicate, who doesn't want to talk. Yeah, so again, this illustration is making me think of reserving your energy. And with this illustration, it's making me think of someone understanding that perception and perspective really do matter, and they make a difference. Like, people are really influenced by their perception. And a lot of people, they see what they want to see. Like, you can offer proof, but if they're dead on seeing only what they want to see, then they will be blinded to that proof or the reality that is right there in front of them. Yeah, so I feel like the next 7 days, you're very open. And with this person having their eyes closed, I feel like you're paying more attention to what is going on within. You're choosing to formulate your own opinions. You're choosing to go within to look for the clarity or find the answers. You're choosing to be patient, practice patience, take your time with things, and you're finding comfort in your own company. Some of you could actually be resuming or starting a meditation practice in the next 7 days, but I do see you taking a moment in your day, afternoon or night, to simply be in silence, to introspect, to unwind. Some of you could be taking bubble baths or just be allowing yourself to relax in the bath. And you're with the number 12 showing up here, which is reminding me of the Hangman and also of the 12th house in astrology, Piscean energy and intuition. Your intuition will be pretty strong in the next 7 days. And I see you intentionally connecting to your intuition, or creating space to connect more with your intuition or intuitive knowing, to take note or be quite aware of what is going on energetically and what your body, your own auric field is picking up on. And I see you asking yourself, being very intentional. For example, if you receive a comment, instead of immediately responding or reacting to it, you're taking a moment to ask yourself, do I need to respond to this? Do I need to react to this? What would I get out of it if I do? Where would this lead to if I do? Can I just let this be? Is it okay with me? Like those kind of questions. Yeah, and I see you finding much peace in taking the time to ask yourself these kind of questions, to ask for your own consent is how it's coming through. Yeah, but I do see you having some kind of conversation, or possibly reaching out or replying to something after much consideration, introspection, or self-reflection. And I feel like if you do end up reaching out, by the time you do reach out, whoever is on the receiving end will be ready to have this conversation with you. They will be in a good place to talk amiably with you, to actually communicate and have a legitimate and mature, level-headed conversation with you. If it happens to be the 12th of the month in the next 7 days, that specific day could be of significance. The color red is really standing out to me, so your favorite color might be red, or some of you might actually have red colored hair or red tinted hair, or maybe someone who will play a significant role in your life has reddish hair or red tinted hair. Also, daisies and sunflowers are coming through. They could be important symbols or sign for these next 7 days, letting you know that you are on the right path, that you are centered, grounded. And I was just fiddling with the deck. I tend to do that. And I instinctively flipped this card over. It was at the top of the deck, and it's release worry, know that everything is going to be all right. So maybe some of you needed to hear this at this moment, but I do feel like this will be your energy at some point in the next 7 days. You will be releasing any worry that you've been experiencing with the knowing, understanding, or feeling of certainty, surety that everything is going to be all right. Okay, but these are all the messages I am seeing or getting for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisement, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. Or just, let them play in the background. Thank you so much for that. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to Spirit, who assisted me with delivering these messages to you. So thank you, Spirit. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 7 days. And until the next moment, bye-bye. If you chose the Home and the Divine card, bienvenidos to your reading. So in the next 7 days, I see you focusing on the Divine Home. And I interpret it as your inner being, as well as your physical body. And the illustration in the Divine card makes me think of health, the epitome or embodiment of overall health. So these next 7 days, you may be focusing on improving, bettering, or maintaining your mental health as well as your physical health. And I do see something along the lines of experiencing a glow up. So I do see you being quite radiant or radiating in the next 7 days. In other words, if you have been working on improving your health, if you have been making lifestyle changes with the aim of feeling and being healthier, whatever it is that you're doing, it's working. Because in the next 7 days, not only will you see a difference, a betterment and improvement, especially in your complexion, but also in the way that you feel. For those of you who have been working to grow out your hair or improve the overall health of your hair, again, whatever it is that you're doing, it's working. I feel like some of you have recently done some kind of detox or purging, or maybe you are looking more into that, researching if that is something that will assist you or help you or will benefit you, or that you can do at this moment, and you know the best way to approach this and so forth. And I keep thinking of meals, quality of food, diet. So some of you could have recently changed your diet, and I don't mean this as going on a diet. It's more about being mindful what kind of food you are consuming, steering away from foods that are harmful to you, harmful to your body, and even harmful to your mental well-being, that sort of thing. Because overall, I just see you guys being more health conscientious. I know I repeated that word health several times, but that's the overall vibe I am getting from these two cards. And with the divine and home, in the next 7 days, some of you could be blessing a home or your home or the space that you live, reside in, or spend a lot of time in. This could even be your work space. I also see you cleansing your space, like doing an energy cleansing, or it could even be like a deep cleaning, because the divine is just making me think of purification. And both of these cards are making me think of a sacred space, creating a sacred space for yourself or honoring your sacred space. And this could be literally a physical space like your home, for example, or a space in which maybe you practice rituals or meditate or create work. But it could also be referring to you, your temple, your physical body, and your inner world as well. So you're releasing and letting go slowly of that which doesn't serve you, of that which is simply creating confusion within or is disturbing your inner peace. Yeah, it seems like a lot of you guys have been doing or creating a lot of changes in your life, in your day-to-day routines, or your lifestyle. I'm getting major lifestyle changes with these two cards. And I feel like this is an energy that you've been on. So you're continuing this in the next 7 days. Like if you have been aiming to create new habits, the next 7 days you are still working on that and reinforcing it. Because you know, sometimes it takes time to create a habit and to release old ones. So I see you being quite consistent, which is beautiful. The feeling I get from these two cards is that this time around, it's not much of a challenge. That is how it's coming through. Like this time around, being consistent is a lot easier because it feels a lot more natural. That's the vibe I get with the divine. So I see you going with what feels right to you, what you feel at peace with, what aligns with you at this current moment in your life or stage in your journey. I feel like you're finding it easier and easier to release or not be tempted to go back to harmful or detrimental or unhealthy habits and or tendencies. Some of you could be attending some kind of retreat, or you may be visiting a temple or sanctuary. But the other thing that is coming through is that your home, the space, the place that you call home or that you live in, it is divinely protected. These birds here flying above this house are making me think of spirit guides, angels, the divine. And so your place, your space is being protected by the divine. Also, what just came through was blessed business. Your business is blessed. Okay, but now let us move on to the rest of the cards to get more insight about the next 7 days. A lot of you could actually work from home, and maybe you do work with the divine, with spirit. And so you, because of that, you might always make sure that your space, it's clean, it's protected, it's energetically clean and protected. You might often cleanse your space. And so if you were wondering whether you were or have been or are working in a safe, protected environment, the answer is yes. Or if you haven't done so already, as mentioned previously, it might be a good idea, or maybe you're being suggested to consider cleansing. Not only cleaning your space, but cleansing the energy of your space. Practice energy or spiritual hygiene. But we have the 7 of Pentacles with number 38, Flames, as well as the 3 of Pentacles with number 48, the Money Safe. Ooh, so both of these cards being Pentacle energy can speak about finances, business, work, progress, material gain. So yeah, I feel that the reason why the message blessed business came through is because if you do have a business, if you are self-employed, for example, your business will be blessed in the next 7 days, especially if you work from home. Even if you work a 9 to 5, but you work from home, I feel like in terms to work, in terms to business and profit, things are going to be looking up or going pretty well in the next 7 days. Money will definitely be coming in. The 7 of Pentacles is all about reaping the rewards of your hard work. And the 3 of Pentacles can speak about teamwork, collaborations, learning, apprenticeship. What just came through is that a lot of you could be learning how to maintain or manage your business or finances in the next 7 days, or you could be learning more about it, getting quite acquainted with it, or getting better at it is how it's coming through. Oh, sorry, I had to pick up the card because it fell on the floor, but the card that fell out is number 76 with building and growth. And the message, there is something worth building upon, and it all starts with a sturdy foundation. Keep moving upward no matter the obstacles. It will only get better every day, and next step in your process is necessary. Welcome in the newness and relocation of mind, body, and soul. And look, we have another house. So yes, I feel like you guys have been doing a beautiful job. I feel you guys have been working hard on improving, bettering something, or on building a foundation. And this could be like literally starting a business from the ground up, or starting something from the ground up. But I feel like this may also be pertaining to like the foundation of a new lifestyle, like new habits. Because I feel like you guys have been trying or have been working on letting go of something that no longer serves you or wasn't serving you by creating something new. And you've been, as mentioned previously, doing a beautiful job. We do have this key term of growth, and the 7 of Pentacles is all about growth. The 3 of Pentacles, it's about expansion. And then we have this raging flame over here. So there is definitely betterment and improvement, and you're getting the results of your hard work, dedication, effort, and even consistency in the next 7 days. And it's not like all your blessings are going to rain down in these next 7 days, because whatever it is that you're doing, I feel it will continue to better and improve as time goes on, as you continue working on this, staying as consistent as you can with it, practicing it, exercising it, and so forth. Yeah, because this money safe, it's open and it's ready to receive more. So I feel like you yourself are ready and open to receive more blessings, more of that which sustains you, sustains your business, whatever it is that you're working on, bettering and improving or establishing. Now, I already mentioned this, but I do sense that a lot of you do work from home, or you have your own business, or maybe you started a business from home. And yeah, in the next 7 days, you could be experiencing some kind of milestone when it comes to this. For a lot of you, I feel like in the next 7 days, you could actually be launching something, or you could be sharing the news that you are expanding your business, or you're adding something to it. But what I get from this spread is stability. So it feels like in the next 7 days, you are realizing that you have reached a point of stability. This could be like financial stability, having a stable financial income perhaps, or profit, or having financial security. This money safe is making me think of the expression, it's in the bag. So there could be a certainty that you will be achieving something or getting the outcome, the results that you have been working for. And if you guys are in the midst of, bettering something or working upon something, you are being let know that this does have potential. To remain as consistent as you can with this. to keep practicing, keep with it because it will grow. The Seven of Pentacles does indicate growth. So tend to your land because your land is fertile. And the Divine card does make me think of Mother Nature or like Empress energy, and the Empress in tarot is all about fertility, growth, abundance. So you guys could very well be sitting on a gold mine. Or the other thing that is coming through is that your work ethic, your effort, your dedication, your perseverance is gold. Like it's not so much in what it is that you're doing, but it's in how you do it. So it's in you basically. You have that Midas touch or that green thumb. If you choose to, you can make anything grow and prosper. Of course, it might take hard work because the Seven of Pentacles is about dedication, putting in the effort. And the Three of Pentacles is all about learning and practicing, gaining experience. So all this time, you have been gaining experience and it's paying off. A lot of you could actually be paying off a mortgage, or maybe you have been working to save enough money to get your own space, to purchase your first home, or to make the down payment for your forever home, something along those lines. And I feel like in the next 7 days, you're either achieving this goal or you're seeing that you're getting closer and closer, so very close to achieving this goal of yours. We do have this rainbow over the house, and this makes me think of prosperity, and it also makes me think of protection, divine protection. So keep focusing on your goal, keep moving upwards. Oh my god, and I got excited. I just noticed we do have consecutive numbers in your spread. If we reduce 38 by adding 8 and 3, we get 11. If we reduce 48 by adding 4 and 8, we get 12. And if we reduce 76, we get 13. 11, 12, 13. And whenever I see consecutive numbers in a spread, that lets me know that the energy is flowing, that there is growth, that there is progress. And as mentioned, if you have been working on yourself, on improving, bettering your health, mental, physical, yes, you are definitely making progress. And the expression that just came to mind was cleaning up the house. I see you not only looking a lot better, like in terms to your complexion, but also feeling a lot better yourself. This rainbow is again making me think of a glow, of a shine. And the illustration of the houses made me think of Sherlock and the Mind Palace. So it seems like not only have you taken care of your physical body, your physical vessel, but also of your mind palace, your mind. The Mind Palace, it's like a memory palace. It's meant to be Sherlock's way of memorizing, keeping important information or what he believes to be relevant and important information. It's meant to help organize his thoughts and so forth. So this makes me think that your memory will be improving a lot in the next 7 days, or your memory is improving. Because as mentioned, I feel like this is an energy that it's not something you will only experience in the next 7 days. You will experience it and more of it as you continue moving forward, like beyond these next 7 days. Especially if you keep, working on this, keep building upon it, keep up with it. With the flame here, it's making me think of like keeping the fire of life, maintaining it. Yeah, some of you could actually be investing in a space, because I am seeing like house maintenance or house upkeep. So if you do end up investing in something like house maintenance, upkeep, car maintenance, tool or software upgrades, something along those lines. If it is an investment for betterment, for improvement, for upgrades or updates, this will be paying off, especially in the long run. So it is an investment. It's not just you spending money. It's an investment that will be paying off or giving you a positive return, not only in the near future, but also in the long run. Some of you could be coming up with a system that is definitely going to help with productivity, efficiency, and sustainability as well. It might help with time management as well. You could be creating something in the next 7 days that is going to serve you for a while. And this could be a routine. This could be a schedule, a layout, a system as mentioned previously. But it makes me think of something that you don't have to really worry about it because it's already there. It also makes me think of like organization, like knowing exactly where everything is. Like you don't have to search for it or spend time looking for something because you know where it is and it's already there. So some of you could be doing a little bit of organizing in the next 7 days. Yeah, and like I said, this organizing or getting organized is going to serve you for the long run. But I am sensing consistency. Like you being consistent or staying as consistent as you can with something and that giving you much reward or benefiting you a lot. And it's getting easier. That's how it's coming through. It's getting easier to stay consistent or to stay with the rhythm of something because I feel like you are finding a rhythm that is quite healthy and that at this moment in your journey really suits you or really makes sense for you. You may be collaborating or working with one or more people in the next 7 days, or maybe you have been working on a project with others, or you do, often team up with co-workers. Some of you could, like I said, be bosses or be an employer, and you do have employees. And yeah, it seems like you are or you have created a really solid team. If you do have a business and it's growing, because it is growing or it will be growing, I feel like very soon, it could be in the next 7 days, you will be hiring people or creating a team to help you out. But with the Seven of Pentacles, what is coming through is that you will have the resources, the finances to hire assistants. So that, again, lets me know that your business is growing and that money is indeed coming in. And I do get the feeling a lot of you could do something spiritual, something like work with the divine, work with spirit. You may be healers. You may channel messages, perhaps. Bless spaces or cleanse spaces. And if this is a service that you provide, with the Seven of Pentacles, you are building a really good reputation for yourself. And I feel like what you provide, your services or your business, if you do consider it a business, it's being blessed because it is helping others. And with the Three of Pentacles, if you do have a clientele or your aim is to build a clientele, you will be achieving this. Because the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles is making me think of returning customers. It's making me think of reputation, having a good reputation, building a name for yourself. And I love how we have this message here of, welcome in the newness and relocation of mind, body, and soul. So it seems like you're establishing something new for yourself that is really benefiting your mind, your body, and your soul. And again, this could be like a new routine, a new lifestyle, a new pace, perhaps. And what just came through was building a new life. Some of you might be relocating or moving in the next 7 days, or maybe you have been in this transition of moving from one location to another. This could also be like moving from one work department to another, transitioning maybe from one career to another. And it feels like this new beginning comes with a lot of opportunities and it feels very optimistic. The phrase money entry, new money entry is coming through. So there could be a new source of income in the next 7 days. Also, some of you could be striking a deal or maybe making a really good sale in the next 7 days. But there's this feeling of something that you've been working on for a really long time now giving you rewards. It's making me think of a tree. Like a tree takes a while to grow and then to bloom. And so it's like now the tree is in full bloom and its fruits are ripe for eating. Like you've been patient, you waited, you tended to this tree, and now you can savor its fruits. And the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles makes me think of, again, working with the divine. A lot of you have been working with the divine, maybe setting intentions, maybe doing a lot of inner work, inner healing, spiritual work, perhaps. Yeah, and it shows. And this flame makes me think of vitality. Like you're getting your vitality back. You feel a lot more energized. Some of you might even be feeling the healthiest you've ever felt. You're laying really good foundations for yourself, or you have. And now you're standing tall and secure on your foundation. Okay, but we have everything is happening in the perfect time for you. Remember that it's way better to have things in increments than having it all at once. Yeah, that's the vibe I get with the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. It's like something is growing, but it's growing gradually, or it has been growing gradually. Like, the feeling I was getting with the Three of Pentacles is of gaining a lot of experience, and we gain experience through practice, right? And so some of you might resonate with the expression late bloomer, or for a while now you might have felt like things have been moving pretty slow for you. And I want to say it's not that you're a late bloomer, because all this time you have been growing, you have been building up to something. And so you're more like a tree, right? Like I said, a tree takes time to fully grow, flourish. Yet a tree, when it's deeply rooted, it's very difficult for it to fall or be pushed down. And so all this time hasn't been wasted time, because you have been building really strong foundations. You have been deeply rooting, so that whatever you create afterwards or from then onwards, it will be something that can last a long time, that can handle, the challenges of life, the harsh winds and storms that are inevitable. I want to say you guys are like fine wine, or what you're creating is like fine wine. It's going to taste even better, because it's all this time. It hasn't just been sitting there. It has been ripening, getting better, juicier, stronger. I just was reminded of the lyrics from the song Stronger by Kanye West. Better, faster, stronger. Yeah, so this isn't exactly about short-term gratification, something that is short-lived. This is about building and creating something that can last the test of time, something that is sustainable, self-sustaining even. A message just came to mind out of the blue, but I'm not sure if it's appropriate. I'll share it with you guys and let you decide. What came through was, this isn't a quickie. This is the real deal. Yeah, whatever it is that you're creating, building, bettering, it's the real deal. It's truly meant to create positive, healthy change. Yeah, because this isn't always the case, but oftentimes a fire that burns hot burns out quickly. But a tempered fire, it can last a really, really long time. And we have, it's possible to work your way out of doubt. Practice focusing on good thoughts, like what can be and what is becoming instead of what is. This might not be exactly what the message is trying to convey, but what came through for me as I read the message was, focus on the progress that you have made. Focus on what you're aiming to achieve. Focus on the dream. Focus on the goal. Remember why it is that you're doing this in the first place, especially when you're starting to doubt. And if the memory of why you started this in the first place no longer inspires you, no longer excites you, or brings you joy as it once did when you started this, then take note of that. Because it's okay to let go of a dream and have a new one. That is fine. It's perfectly fine. Or have a new and different reason for why you are pursuing the dream. There is nothing wrong with redirection. You don't have to force yourself to stay in a situation or hold on to something that is no longer bringing you joy or fulfilling you, and it's simply depleting you of your energy and your excitement, your zest, your joy for things or life. And remember that whatever you have done so far won't go to waste, because it's often the case that whatever experience we have acquired thus far, whatever practice, knowledge, it will serve us at some point or another. It will come in handy. It will allow us to maybe skip 1, 2, or more steps ahead. Yeah, so don't be afraid to have a new dream. If it happens to be that you no longer align or resonate with a current goal or dream of yours. Yet I feel like for the majority of you, you're very much still excited about whatever goals you currently have, whatever it is that you're currently doing. You're still very much all in for what you are creating, the dream that you currently have. And these arrows here, these coiled arrows, are making me think of like a spring. You know, a spring, it's about tension, right? So it's also making me think of like a bow and arrow. Like in order to release the arrow, let it fly, we need to pull the bow back, right? Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes we feel like we're staying back while everyone is moving ahead, or sometimes we feel like we're regressing when in actuality, no, we're just building tension. We're just maybe creating momentum, so when the time comes, when the time is right, we'll propel forwards. And I feel like that's when a lot of people experience what they call success overnight. Yeah, but I feel like you guys are very much entering a phase or an era where you can rest assured that you've secured a spot, or that you have accomplished something, or that you have created something sturdy and stable. Because I am seeing financial security, I am seeing health, I am seeing growth, betterment, improvement. And we do have 2 large bodies of water here, so some of you could be spending time near a large body of water sometime in the next 7 days. Or maybe for some of you, your dream is to live near a large body of water. Yeah, and as mentioned, you're seeing that you're getting closer and closer to achieving that dream. Some of you could feel a strong connection to the sea, the ocean, the element of water. You could feel that that's where you belong. Yeah, so maybe in the near future or in the future, you will find a forever home somewhere near the sea, the ocean, or as mentioned, a large body of water. But let's see, anything else? Some of you could be really into sci-fi, or maybe in the next 7 days you could be reading a lot of sci-fi novels or watching a lot of sci-fi movies. You could also feel a strong connection to space. Could be very interested in life in other planets. And this illustration in this "It's Possible to Work Your Way Out of Doubt" card is making me think of clairvoyance or visualizing. So a lot of you could be doing a lot of visualizing to ground yourself, to center your thoughts, your mind, to focus possibly. And some of you could actually be finding or knowing what your safe space is. Like you could be visualizing it in your mind. Like, you know how oftentimes, I don't know if you've heard this, like find your safe space, think of your safe space. And that is meant to be a technique to help you feel at ease, to ground, to center. Yeah, some of you could actually be practicing that technique in the next 7 days and finding that it really helps you. Because I do see you having a safe space, like that you often go to in your mind, retreat to in your thoughts. And it could be a location that either you made up, because it could exist in some other dimension if it's not in this plane of existence, or it could be a location that does exist in this 3D plane on this earth. But I do see you being in a good mood. These springs here are making me think of a bounce to your step, having a bounce to your step. So in the next 7 days, you will be in a good mood, feeling quite uplifted, hopeful, optimistic, with high energy as well. But let's see, anything else? Illustrations or images of houses, or anything that symbolizes a home, a house, a safe space could be of significance for the next 7 days. Some of you could be an earth or fire sign. The other thing that is coming through is that you might be visiting the bank in the next 7 days to either withdraw money or deposit. And the last thing that is coming through is that you are starting to feel more at home with or in yourself. You're getting a better understanding or feel of your true or real essence, or the kind of energy you want to embody. And that is really inspiring to keep moving forward, or to keep creating positive changes in your life, or being consistent with the positive changes that you have and are making. Okay, but these are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so very much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them run in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to Spirit, who assisted me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, Spirit. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 7 days. And until the next moment, bye bye.